Many leadership decisions don't feel urgent. They feel reasonable to delay. Nothing is broken, performance hasn't collapsed, and the organization is still functioning. But because of that, leaders often believe they have time. But what many don't notice is this: some of the most consequential decisions aren't delayed because they're complex, they're delayed because they don't yet feel necessary. And that's where deferred judgment begins. Deferred judgment is rarely framed as avoidance, it's framed as prudence, diligence, waiting for clarity, not rushing the call. And leaders say things like, let's give it another quarter. We don't have enough signal just yet. And nothing is forcing our hand, so why do we need to move right now? And in isolation, those statements sound reasonable. But the misdiagnosis here is subtle. Leaders assume that delaying judgment preserves optionality, when in reality, it often narrows it. You can see deferred judgment in familiar organizational rhythms. Decisions that return repeatedly, slightly reworded, lightly reframed, postponed to the next meeting. Strategy decisions that feel productive but inconclusive. All sites that generate insight but no shift in direction. And from the outside, it looks thoughtful, but from the inside, it feels like motion without movement. Nothing explodes and nothing resolves. Judgment is often deferred not because leaders are uncertain, but because no one clearly owns the risk. At the system level, accountability is distributed, consequences are delayed, authority is diffused, so judgment becomes something everyone feels but no one formally holds. And organizations optimize for defensibility, consensus, and alignment, but they don't optimize for decisiveness, risk ownership, or directional clarity. And as a result, delay becomes the safest option, even if it's the most costly one. Deferred judgment doesn't announce itself as failure, it accumulates quietly. Teams begin adapting around ambiguity, high performers self limit, and decision authority subtly migrates upward. Momentum slows, not because people disengage, but because no one wants to move ahead of clarity that never arrives. And over time, the system teaches people to wait until something forces the decision. That lesson is rarely intentional, but is deeply learned. The cost of deferred judgment isn't just time, it's lost initiative, shrinking decision space, erosion of trust and leadership direction, and by the time a decision finally feels unavoidable, the range of available options has already narrowed. What leaders experience as, why does this feel harder now? Is often the result of judgment that was deferred when the system still had flexibility. Most leadership teams can sense this pattern. They know certain decisions are lingering, but because nothing is visibly broken, there's little urgency to intervene. And because judgment isn't formally examined, teams rely on meetings, discussions, and reassurance instead of servicing the structural reasons decisions keep stalling. At a certain point, awareness alone doesn't resolve the issue because the system itself has normalized delay. This is where many organizations misread their own restraint. They believe they are being careful, but what they are often doing is allowing the system, not leadership, to decide. Judgment that isn't exercised deliberately doesn't disappear. It gets exercised by default through drift, through attrition, through quiet disengagement, and by the time leaders act, the decision has already been made, just not consciously. So the questions leaders need to sit with isn't, is it too soon to decide? The question is, what decision is already being made by not deciding? Because deferred judgment doesn't protect organizations from risk, it simply hides where the risk is accumulating.